welcome back. Check I've got my thing turned on. Okay, back in Dublin, beginning of October. Let me spin you around. I know I sound sort of seriously depressed when I say that I'm back in Dublin, but I'm not. Back in Dublin, in Temple Bar, outside the famous Temple Bar. And as you can see, Temple Bar is kind of busy at this time of day. It's about 1 o'clock in the day. Sweet Divine, they're putting Christmas tree lights up. What do you reckon? Is it too early for Christmas? No, I don't think so. I have to say, I'm one of those people, I just love Christmas. Granted, I never spend it in Ireland because it's far too cold. So, yeah. No prizes for guessing where I'll be heading this Christmas. But in the meantime, let's show you around what is still one of my favourite cities, even though I do complain about the rain and the wet and the cold, which is actually not bad today. And the weather has been surprisingly mild for this time of year. But Temple Bar is, as always, full to the gills. Tourists, stags, hens. And we're not going in there. Oh, maybe we will. We'll have a little look around this. Okay, this isn't normally here. Oh, a lot of these used to be up at Crow Lane, so excellent. Okay, so this has been filmed on a Saturday, so I'm assuming these are here on us every Saturday. Oh, these are beautiful. I like these. So this is a much better way of bringing souvenirs back from Ireland. Much better way of supporting local people than going into the usual suspects and buying from the sort of commercial shops. Busy little spot. Okay, let's head out. Temple Bar is Temple Bar. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you probably won't come into it. But it's one of those places that every single person, every tourist wants to see. And it's quite a big area. I mean, it is a pub, don't get me wrong. There is the pub called Temple Bar, but that's not Temple Bar. Temple Bar has a huge amount going with it, apart from that. And there wasn't much here back in the 80s. It wasn't an awful lot. But certainly now it's a completely different area. And I do like wandering around it, so there's no point in saying I don't. Now this used to be the old central bank building, which is why you see the money tree sitting over there, or should I say standing over there. It's a lot of old vintage shops, so if you like your vintage clothing, that's what I like. This is the part of Temple Bar that I actually like. Now, I was a bit of a vintage clothes freak back in the day when I was a kid. Okay, these are fantastic. Just avoid them like the plague. Stags and hens. I'm going to have to continue to talk over it because they cycle all over the city, music playing, and they are good fun. They are good crack. So this is going to be, I believe, a hotel eventually up above. As I said, it used to be the central bank, and now we have a central plaza attached to it. Never been in it, and I don't think it's fully open. In fact, I'd say Krispy Kreme is the only one that's in there at the moment. I'm not sure when it's due. Does it say? No, doesn't say. Okay, so let's see how the cyclists are getting on. And we have to give them a little wave. There's several of these around the city, and they are actually always good fun. I'm going to talk over there so I don't get to listen to the music. Now, as you can see, they don't exactly move quickly because I'm actually walking faster than they are. That's why I'm putting across. Trinity College down below. Bank of Ireland on the left-hand side, which I think I've shown you before. That used to be the House of Parliament back during the British rule. No longer. Oh, Bank. That's actually a cracking little bar. If you want, a lot of people look for sort of, I suppose, traditional Irish bars outside of Temple Bar, and the Bank is certainly one of them. Bankers is one of the. It's just a nice little bar. Let me wander you down here. I'll bring it down to the Stag's Head, as that tour guide has just reminded me that it's down here. Bankers' food's not bad in that place. Haven't had anything major out of it. I used to work not far from here back in the days when I was a physical therapist. Yes, I was once a physical therapist, amongst other things. A lot of people, I suppose, who are new to the channel don't know my varied careers. I've had quite a few of them. But Mulligan and Hines, that's actually not a bad, and Haynes is not a bad little bar either. Doesn't seem to be open now. I don't know whether that's just closed for now. Guy I knew used to own it. Haven't seen him in a while, so I'm not sure whether or not he still runs it or not. Now I came down here looking for the Stag's Head and I've lost it. How have I lost it? I've said this before. I used to drive a taxi in Dublin. Don't know how I did. But to be honest with you, I can get lost in my own house. But seriously, I could. I could get lost in my own house. At this point now, I'm cursing that tour guide for pointing this out to me, because oh, it's there, the thing, sit. See it? I passed it twice. There it is. Told you, I'm dreadful. I get lost in my own garden. So, yeah, these are the sort of bars that you go to. If you're looking for Irish bars, proper Irish bars, and I don't mean your Temple Bar, diddly eye Irish bars. Proper Irish bars where you'll find Irish people drinking in them. This is where you go. A little bit off strip. Now, actually, I do want to tell you about, I was up in this little restaurant in Drumcondra, which is just on the outside of the city. It's literally on the canal, just beside Croke Park, which to locals that will make sense. To someone who's visiting, ask any taxi driver. It's not far from the city. If you're looking for something a little bit different, this is definitely worth a look. It's just outside the city, not that far. It's still in the city limits. You'd walk it, in fairness. You wouldn't even need to get a taxi. Put it into Google if you're staying in the city and you'll find it fairly quickly. So it's a Middle Eastern restaurant. It's just a quirky little place. It's beside Drumcondra train station, just beside Drumcondra train station. Now at the moment we're just coming up towards Grafton Street. We're at the back of Grafton Street, and yeah, so back to Souk. Just as you pass the train station, there's an old schoolhouse there, and it's in there. Now let me show you what we had. as you can see, quirky little place. And the food was, well, let me tell you what we had. I had that Moroccan sea bass. It was very simple. Huge fillets of sea bass in the most amazing Moroccan spices with tomatoes and red peppers. It was absolutely amazing. And I had the bread that they cook with it is their own. They bake the bread in house. Now, for those of you who know me, I can't eat bread. It kills me. But I ate it, and it killed me. But I don't care, because it was absolutely delicious. Sometimes I will suffer for good food, and that was worth suffering, because the bread was just amazing. It was covered in olive oil and crushed salt, and everything about it said no to me. But yeah, it was grand. It was lovely. It was just so good. So I had that, and then herself had that mixed platter, which had tahini, hummus. There was 3 different types of salads in it. There was I can't think of all the names of them, but it's not my thing. That's not my thing. The salmon or the sea bass was amazing, and that's very much me. I'm very much of the opinion if it didn't swim, walk or fly, I generally don't eat it. I'm not a big lover of vegetables and stuff like that, but I did try some of it, and it was something else. It was really, really good. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, try it out. It wasn't what I was expecting. I honestly went in with an open mind and an empty stomach, because I was absolutely starving. I was, but I wasn't expecting to be impressed now, to be honest with you, because I'm not really a mad vegetarian. Now, if you are vegetarian or vegan, it's definitely the place to go, because the selection of food was absolutely amazing, and majority of it would fall under the vegetarian, if not pescatarian sort of menu. But it was just so flavoursome. Staff were absolutely lovely, and just a really cool vibe to it. Now, the bill came to 55 euros. Now, there was no drink on that, because at the moment, shock horror, people won't believe me, I'm actually off the beer at the moment, and have been for about 4 or 5 weeks since I came back from Tenerife. And I've successfully managed to lose just over half a stone in weight. I was just full of Tenerife food and beer after spending over 3 weeks there. So I decided to take a little break from the beer. Take note, my body is a temple. It was starting to look like a Buddhist temple at that stage, so I said, right, when you get to the stage when you run up the stairs and you stop at the top of the stairs, but you don't, your body still moves, it's time to do something about it. So I did, as I said, off the beer. So there was no beer on that, it was just table water, whatever. And yeah, at that price I thought it was really good, because the food was amazing, the ingredients were fresh. Staff, I'd have to give it a good solid 9.5 out of 10. And I'm only taking half away, because I don't think anyone yet is 10 out of 10. Although I do maybe have a few contenders for a 10 out of 10 slot. Okay, so that's me for now. I'm coming up to the Gaiety Theatre and the top end of Grafton Street, coming up towards Stephen's Green. I'm actually just passing the Stephen's Green shopping centre here on my right hand side, which is actually quite cool. Maybe I'll finish up in here. Have a little one. I don't know whether I've ever shown you the inside of this. This was probably one of the first big, I suppose, shopping centres in Dublin. And it is beautiful now. I believe it's been renovated very shortly, so not sure whether they're going to close it down completely or just do renovations as they go, but as you can see, it is pretty cool. Kind of got a Victorian roof vibe on it, and there's some nice little shops, little restaurants in it. So yeah, kind of quirky little spot. So, as I said, if you're looking for something quirky, try out that restaurant. Absolutely fabulous. Souk it was called, in Drumcondra, so not far from the city. So that's it. Back in Dublin. Do have a little trip planned in between now and December. We're going to be back on track again. We're passing a choir. So before they start singing, I'll say goodbye. Okay, if you like what you see, hit the like, hit the bell, subscribe, share. It doesn't cost nothing to share, and it doesn't cost anything to subscribe either. So, talk to you soon.